I'm Bob Merlin. I'm a collaborative family attorney. I help people get through a divorce, a paternity matter, or enter into a prenuptial agreement in a peaceful, respectful, private way. If you're thinking about a divorce, the best advice I can give you is to consult with an experienced family attorney and do research before meeting with that attorney to see if their philosophy aligns with your philosophy. If you meet with an experienced attorney, that attorney will be able to gather information from you to find out what the issues are in your particular family circumstance and tell you what the law is and talk about what the choices are for process of how to handle your divorce. And that probably gives you a good idea of what needs to be done in the future. I once had a client who met with me and ultimately didn't get divorced until 7 years later because she wasn't ready to get divorced. And she met with me multiple times. I'm currently meeting with someone who has met with me multiple times over a 3-year period. I'm not pushing those people to get divorced. I'm not filing anything in court. I'm giving guidance to those people so that they can have the tools and the power to make the decisions that are in their best interest. And someone may think that the only solution is a divorce. When I have an initial consultation with my clients, I talk to all of them about reconciliation, going to therapy, meeting with a clergy person, doing anything that's viable to try to preserve the relationship. Some people consult with me just to gather information so they know what the rights and obligations are, what would happen. It's really the fastest and most accurate way to gather information as long as you're meeting with a good family attorney. You should think about how you want to describe your divorce in the future. How do you want to look back and describe it? Was it a very traumatic experience, or did you try to create the best possible, smoothest, most private process that you could so that you could negotiate everything with your spouse? And how do you want your children to describe this process when they get older, when they get married? How is this going to affect them? How is the process going to affect you when you enter into another relationship in the future? Because there's a pretty good chance that you will. Traditional litigation is one of the choices that you have, but that's not the only choice. You can also go to mediation, and you can certainly use the process that's my specialty, which is the collaborative process. You should understand a little bit about the law because you should have an idea of what things are normally done. That doesn't mean that the law limits what you're going to do, but it's relevant, especially with respect to the children. Do you have assets and liabilities? You're going to wind up dividing them. How are you going to divide them? You have a spouse who may need support or will be paying support. How much is that going to be? You need to understand your finances moving forward. If you have children, you have to decide how those children are going to be parented. What time are the children going to spend with each of you? If you're going to hire an attorney, you have to think carefully about who that attorney is going to be. What philosophy does that attorney have, which should be aligned with how you want your divorce to be handled? Do you want it to be public, or do you want it to be private? Do you want to destroy your spouse, or do you want to preserve that relationship? Because I can assure you that if you have children and you destroy, or you try to destroy, the other spouse, you are going to be affecting your children. And parents often don't realize that the children are a product of both of the parents. Whether they're natural born or adopted, both of those parents have contributed to make the children who they are today. And when you attack the other parent, the child knows that you're actually attacking that child. So you should not want to do that. I am available to have a consultation with. All you need to do is contact me, and we can schedule an in-person meeting. We can do it over the internet, a phone consultation, and we'll go through all of the issues that are involved in your particular family circumstance and talk about the law, but not just the law, process, how to handle your situation. There is a flat fee that I charge for my consultations, and I usually spend between an hour and a half and 2 hours with someone. And so you have to be prepared to come, share information, and listen. Take notes? Great. Take home some materials? Great.